Outer Rep Level 25.
Lesson 14. The most important lesson. Part 1. American English pronunciation. A. What's voiced and what's voiceless? Voiced sounds.
Outer ref.
When you say a voiced sound, there'll be no air coming out of your mouth. For example, clean, bicycle, door, America, beam, potato, cover,
Outer
hug,
ref.
window. Voiceless sounds. When you say a voiceless sound, there'll be air coming out of your mouth. For example, wash, voice, wants, help, ditch,
Outer ref.
sex, leaf, book. Difficult voice sounds for Vietnamese. B, D, V, and Z. Rob, nod, love,
Outer ref.
nose. Make a buzz and try not to let air escape. Difficult voiceless sounds for Vietnamese. TS and KS. Wants, books, nets,
Outer ref.
necks. T is held at the end of a word. T plus S is voiceless. B. Vowels. A, E, I, O, and U. And semivowels. R, W, and Y. Are voiced.
Outer ref.
When you say them, don't let your tongue touch anything in your mouth, and don't let any air come out of your mouth. For example, America, tea, I, tomato, you, floor,
Outer ref.
show, study. C. Consonants. B, C, D, F, G, H, K, J, L, M, N, P, Q,
Outer
S,
ref.
T, V, X, and Z. From the lips, M, V, F, B, P. From behind the teeth, CE, J, D,
Outer ref.
L, N, S, T, X, CH, SH, Z. From the throat, G, H, K, and G.
Outer ref.
D. Liaisons. Rule 1. Vowel plus vowel equals a diphthong. A, E, I. Connect with Y. The apple. He is. She eats. O, U. Connect with W. Go away. To understand. Who is. Rule 2. Consonant plus vowel.
Outer ref.
Link them. An orange. Pick up on. Rule 3. Consonant plus consonant. Same group. Blend them. I've gotta go. Do you want a
Outer
banana?
ref.
I've been late twice. Pardon. Different groups. A little pause. I've got 4 shirts. I'll sell cakes. The pilot hands me that book.
Outer ref.
Rule 4. T plus Y with U equals CH. Don't you? Actually. D plus Y with U equals J. Need you. Gradually.
Outer ref.
S plus Y with U equals sh. Insurance, miss you. Z plus y with you equals zh. Where's your, who's your. E, intonation. 20% of the time, you can practically stress any word. She knew that Kathy was lying to her friends. I told Emily that I'd seen her manager. I didn't say the principal came here on Sunday. We use intonation to express our opinion. We usually raise our voice on the word or stretch the word. We stress contractions doesn't, can't, shouldn't. F. Building an intonation sentence. It rains. It usually rains. It usually rains heavily. It usually rains heavily in the countryside. It usually rains heavily in the countryside in April. I know that it usually rains heavily in the countryside in April. I actually know that it usually rains heavily in the countryside in April. I actually know that it usually rains heavily in the countryside in April because I used to live in the countryside. I actually know that it usually rains heavily in the countryside in April because I used to live in the countryside when I was young. As I've told you several times before, I actually know that it usually rains heavily in the countryside in April because I used to live in the countryside when I was young. Part 2. Pure dialogue. Excuse me, sir. Do you like your local liquor store? Sure, I like it very much. It's big and reasonable. It has 2 big stories and a large vegetable room. It sells a lot of wine, beer, and brandy, vegetables and fruit. Do you often go there? Yes, I often go there several times per week. On Monday, I usually go there to buy some vitamins and some drinks. On the other days, I go there to buy vegetables and fruit. On Sunday, I sometimes pick up a bottle of wine or a case of beer to drink with my friends. They're not expensive. Really? They say they have a farm, therefore they can afford the low prices. If they don't have a farm, they probably have to buy vegetables from other people and the prices are probably higher. Saturday's the busiest day, even though they don't sell brandy on Saturday. I'll go there today in spite of the fact that it may rain, now that they've just imported a lot of French beer. Tell me the last time you went there. Well, it was just yesterday. It was sunny, even though the radio had predicted it would rain. When I went there, I saw our friend Peter. He was talking to one of the sales ladies. He said that he'd come 2 hours before me because he didn't want to miss the French beer. I didn't know that he also liked French beer like us. I asked him whether he'd return next week because they'd have more French beer. He said he wouldn't. He'll go to the capital next Monday. If I'd not gone there, I wouldn't have seen Peter. Tell me about their abilities, their preferences, and their habits. You mean the owner. All right. The owner's a northerner. He can speak several dialects. He can understand English, too. He can read French also. He'd rather sell at a cheap price to help the local people. He prefers to earn a small profit, but have a lot of customers. He's used to opening the store very early in the morning and closing very late at night. He used to live in the north and just came here 10 years ago. Now tell me about your travel agency. Okay. Part 4. Idiomatic expressions. Idioms. Examples. 22. To add insult to injury. He was ashamed when he missed the basket, but it added insult to injury when the coach took him out of the game. 23. To be afraid of one's shadow. The slightest noise will make my cat jump. She's afraid of her own shadow. 24. A little bird told me. My sister wanted to know how I found out about her new boyfriend, and I just said that a little bird told me. 25. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. When Mark saw Betty crying, he assumed that she'd failed the test and informed her parents. But that wasn't true. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing.